There we go.
Hey everyone, Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron. It's the Bolt Crew podcast, and this show already feels a little bit different, a little bit more exciting than what we've been going through, because obviously there's an NFL game today, and it actually counts. So it's great. Chargers aren't the team that's playing. Doesn't matter. It's NFL football. So if you're doing fantasy, if you hate teams in our division, guess what? You have a chance to sit there and start hating as early as today. Super excited. Mario and I were just talking about it for a second. Mario, what were the exact sentence you said to me about today?
Feels like I've lost my virginity again.
There you go. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So if you feel the same way, go ahead. Give us a thumbs up on that. We will take that right there. Thumbs up, subscribe.
Lasted longer this time.
Good deal. So there you go right there. Again, it's NFL week. We're going to make all our picks at the end of the show like we do on every single Thursday going into the weekend. And we have to come up with a punishment. Josh, I'll let you explain about what we were just talking about as far as in a text, because we need the audience's help on this.
Yeah, the punishment for this year's fantasy, or no, it's not for fantasy football. This is for the spreads, right, for the season?
Yes.
Yeah, the loser of us three between picking the spreads for the entire season, the punishment, okay, it has to equal 15, okay? So we're going to pick 3 or 4 items, food items you have to eat. It has to equal 15 in 50 minutes, which is the length of this show in one sitting. So to explain, 3 items could be hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken nuggets. Actually, chicken nuggets would be a terrible thing to pick. A sandwich. If you can eat a sandwich, hot dog, and hamburger in any order, you have to eat 15 of them. We'd pick the size. That would be the punishment. You have to get it all in 50 minutes. So maybe like tacos would be a good one, something that you could scarf down, but it's not something tiny like a grape, for example. Yeah. So we want the people on this show to help us vote on the items that we're going to eat for the loser of the punishment.
All right. My suggestion was a combination of a hot dog. God damn, I can't remember what second one. Hot dog, it was hard-boiled eggs, and tacos. That was it. So obviously each one's worth 1 point, and you got to equal 15 within 50 minutes. Now, what's the punishment if you don't equal the 15? Do you have to do it again the next week?
Do it till you finish it. Yeah. You keep going till you finish. Start over next show.
Oh my God, what a nightmare. What a goddamn nightmare to have to do it again. But yeah, that's it. I'm kind of curious. Again, we don't want to kill anybody on the show. You guys are going to come up with some crazy things like 15 chicken breasts. Like no one's going to do that. You got to help us out. And I can't eat 15 pancakes. I don't know about you guys. Can you get 15 pancakes down in 15 minutes? No. It sounds like your brain tells you yes, but 100% you cannot. It's impossible, right? To do. So no, I don't want to end up doing that right there. Demetrius says, what about Jack in the Box tacos? You know, it's funny. I've done that at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, believe it or not, I've gone through the drive-thru and said, go ahead and give me 15 tacos, and stood up and ate them all, and no problem at all within like 20 minutes. And it was outstanding. And then the next morning you wake up and go, dude, I can't believe I ate 15 tacos and went to sleep. Like, that was terrible. But punishment's a punishment, you know?
Yeah, so I'm looking at these. Some of these are pretty good ones right here.
Yeah.
15 street tacos. I like that.
I love that.
You like that right there? That might be the favorite so far. AK says wings, hot dogs, and boiled eggs. It's not bad.
Wings could be a cheat, though. 15 wings is not bad.
Yeah, wings is not hard.
I don't know. I had to kind of disagree on that. 15 wings is more than you think. Like, when you go out and buy wings, don't you usually order 12 at a time? And then about number 9, you're like, oh, man, I don't know if I can eat all 12, or do you guys have no problem knocking down the 12?
No problem.
No problem. Okay. I always go above, and then you can save them for later, because wings later are always just as good as they were fresh.
And Demetrius wrote again about Taco Bell tacos. Josh and I did this once. I think you can find this still on YouTube, right, Josh? As far as a taco challenge. And everyone thinks they can knock out these tacos. It is tougher than you think, right?
Soft tacos.
The soft tacos. Josh and I ate more than anyone we knew together. We both ate 15. And everyone's like, God, that's nothing. We didn't meet one person go past 8, right? Everyone was like, I can't do it.
Really?
Dude, I don't know what it is with it's this. I thought soft tacos would be easier. I was also drinking Cokes with them too. And everyone's like, did you have to run to the bathroom? Dude, too much information here. Just the opposite. Like, if you eat them on Monday, you aren't going to the bathroom till Thursday. You know, it stops everything. It stops everything. Yeah. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah. First off, you drinking Coke with that is crazy. That's because that's gonna fill you up more. So that's a crazy
Yeah, I
move
was doing
on
the
you.
hot sauce and yeah, putting the soda. You're right. It was not probably a smart move, but just the way I've always eaten tacos was with soda. So that's just the way I
a fair
went.
point.
But it's harder than you think, for sure. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anything for the show. That's what we always say.
Maybe we can just do like 8 soft tacos on the show from Taco Bell. That's
8 and
hard,
8
dude.
minutes. Or
8,
like 10.
dude. It's so hard, dude. Like 50 minutes, dude. It is difficult. I'm telling you, Mario.
Really? I want to
Dude,
try it now just because
Yeah.
I like don't because I eat 4 and I'm like I could eat,
Yeah, that's
but
what
then
you
I
think.
get 6 is the wall. I bet is 6 where you hit it and you're like Jesus.
I think it was
8. I'd say
11.
8.
Was it 8?
Uh,
So at some point, Josh and I looked at each other.
It was about
Holy...
11. Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. Our friends couldn't go past 8. Maybe we do 10 on the show because 10 is very difficult.
All right, 10. I like
10
Yeah, anyway.
Taco Bell soft tacos on the show in 50 minutes. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Are we doing it?
Unless someone comes up with a better idea on the side here,
Okay, fine.
you got
Yeah.
the whole show to come up with a better idea on how to do it. But
Or, did you guys see the guy the Florida State guy that said if Florida State loses, he'd eat dog poop out of a Solo
Yeah.
cup?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
deleted his account.
Yeah, shout out
Coward.
that guy. Yeah.
he
I
did.
would-
That is a coward move. Dude,
You
do
just
it.
fake it. Just
Yeah,
do it or
do it,
fake
man.
it. It's so easy to fake it. AI that crap.
Dude, this is why you don't even fake it or do it. Would you let your daughter in the future date a guy like that? Or do you hire a guy like that?
No.
No.
No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, dude, I'm not hiring this guy. This guy's eating ass. You know? Why? Why would I hire this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're safe for deleting the account. But he basically pussed out in front of everybody. That's what he did. Anyway, what can you do? So look, here's the deal with Charger football. And by the way, the last show that we did, and we spoke about how if you missed the last show, we had a chance to meet Mario for the first time in person after 3 years, and we spoke about how great it was. The people that leave the comments that I just need football and I can leave all the fluff out. Look, here's the deal. 3 of us own the show. We don't have anybody in our ear telling us, hey, talk more football. We're going to talk football as much as we want. We understand it's a football show, but man, this is going to be a show where we talk about personality and who we are, so you have an idea of kind of what we're made out of. I don't think we spend a ton of time doing it, but to basically saying shut the F up to us and give us more football, calm down. Season's 5 days away, all right? Everybody calm down. All right, we're going to run the show. There's no one knocking on our door going, I need to see you 3 in my office now. It doesn't work that way. Guess what? We are the office. All right, so the way we do the show and the way we spoke about it, sorry, maybe it's not the show for you. There's the door for you guys. So I enjoyed the show on Tuesday. I thought it was one of those you get to know the personalities of the 3 of us a little bit better. But of course, we will talk football. Mario, I'm going to let you start the show football-wise because you did a ton of research. Like Mario basically broke down the Raiders like he's in the scouting department. Like Jim Harbaugh is going to say, Mario, what do you have? So, so Mario, let's lead into the big game with Jim Harbaugh's first game back in the NFL as a head coach, taking on the Raiders.
Yeah, so the Raiders, if you wanted to look at offseason grades, right, for like every team in the NFL, you would see probably D's across the board for the Raiders because they did not do anything to help the 2 most important spots, 2 important weaknesses on their team, right? The quarterback and their secondary. The secondary is filled with guys that are picked in the later rounds, and they're going to rely a lot on them to kind of be successful and kind of carry that defense and kind of just hope and pray that Max Crosby and Christopher Wilkins can get to the quarterback before they get burnt. So this could be a kind of a good pump-up game for Herbert and the receivers because that secondary is very, very weak. This offense also, Josh, is going to stink for the Raiders. They're 6th worst in total yards per game last year, 6th worst on conversion on 3rd down, 22nd in passing game, 3rd worst on the ground last year. And to help and improve all of that, they said, here's Gardner Minshew that only did well in a Shane Steichen offense and in a offense has a lot better talent around it than I think there will ever be in the Raiders. And then on top of that, to help improve it, they get the brain fart of Luke Getsy, who in Chicago tried to make Justin Fields a pocket passer for the first 3 weeks of 2023 and 2022. And if you go back and watch that film, it literally, Justin Fields looks like he's a high school quarterback because it doesn't make sense of what he's doing. So they don't have a smart offensive mind. They don't have a good quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a career backup, but for just being completely honest. The only bright side is they have Brock Bowers and they have Michael Mayer, which doesn't make sense to have two dominant tight ends right now in today's NFL. They have Devontae Adams. The thing is, you got to get the ball to Devontae, and let's see if they can do that with Mac and Bosa coming at them. And the one thing I'll say about Getsy, Josh, too, is that he ran the ball great in Chicago. That being said, if he's able to do that in Las Vegas, I will literally punch myself in the nuts on air because it's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not. Like, I'm not even saying that like trying to be the poop guy, but like it's just he had Fields and he had a pretty deep running back room, and then even when he was out, Bagent like could run as well. Like he just had a dynamic running backfield that he just doesn't have in Las Vegas to play with, and I just don't think that's going to work here in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders are super, 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 super bad. Like I did this whole thing, and the only thing I had out of it, Josh, was Max Crosby, Christopher Wilkins, great. Devontae Adams, great. Christian, I'm sorry. The rest of the team, kick rocks. You guys are terrible.
Yeah, well, first off, good job by you by putting in all that work. I couldn't agree more with most of the things you said. Here's my question back to you before I get into what I think about the Raiders. What do you think they're saying about us? Aren't they saying that we're not very good? Right? They're saying the Chargers had the 5th pick in the draft. We put up 70 points on them. They haven't improved in their corners aren't better. We don't think their defensive line is much better on the interior defensive line. We think linebackers are a question mark. Raiders are talking about us the same way that we're talking about them. So even though I do think the Chargers are the better team, we have the much better quarterback, there are a lot of question marks on both sides of the ball for both teams. Even though we have Justin Herbert, doesn't mean that our offense is going to be on fire all game. Hopefully they are. But they're looking at our receiver core and saying, we can shut these guys down. Are we scared of Josh Palmer? We appreciate Josh Palmer on the show, right? But other fan bases don't. You look at the fantasy football drafts, people are drafting Josh Palmer in the 14th round, right? Justin Herbert goes undrafted in at 20% of all fantasy football leagues. People are hating on the Chargers. The issue the Chargers are going to have going into this game is going to be Devontae Adams, who historically owns the Chargers. And you put that here in the rundown. Every game Devontae Adams has against the Chargers is a career day. 10 receptions, 141 yards and a touchdown. 8 receptions, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. 8 receptions, 75 yards. 8 receptions, 101 yards and a touchdown. If there's a bet going around, how many targets is Devontae Adams going to get in this game? It has to be 15 plus, right? If you're Luke Getsy, how do you not go his direction on almost every freaking down? You have Jacoby Myers, you have Zamir White, you have Devontae Adams, Brock Bowers. It has to be Devontae Adams all day long. Brock Bowers is a great player, but he's unproven. It's his first NFL game ever. We've seen this many times. Guys tear it up in college, but they're just another guy in their first game as a rookie. I think the big issue for the Chargers, Mario, is going to be Asante Samuel Jr. and Devontae Adams. The other thing that we're going to be looking at is Joe Alt versus Max Crosby. Jim Harbaugh spoke about it ad nauseum in his press conference. Does Joe Alt have what it takes to slow down Max Crosby? We'll see.
Who does? Right? I mean, Joe Alt might be great, but who does? I mean, Max Crosby is ridiculous. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Look, I understand he's a Raider. I've said on the show for a number of years, he's one of my favorite guys in the NFL to watch. I love guys in sports that seem like they never get tired. In the history of watching sports and to look at a guy like Max Crosby, I compare him to a guy like Allen Iverson, who never seemed like he got tired. Latrell Sprewell, which is before your guys' time, when he played basketball, it seemed like he never got tired. There's just so much energy behind those guys that he's able to give 100%. Here's what's kind of interesting. When the Raiders, when they talk about what they did in the offseason, right, they put Wilkins on the other side to make Max Crosby that much better. And you have two guys that are really good. For the Chargers, their strength this year is their offensive line. I think that's one of the reasons why all of a sudden you're seeing that the Chargers are going to go with an offense in situations like this where you might have a fullback on the field to help a little bit more because Max Crosby's a freak. The guy is an absolute freak, and he's one of the best players in the league and favorite by a lot of people to win Defensive Player of the Year. That is a tough first game. At the same time, speaking on behalf of the Raiders, this is a great game for them for their defensive backs who are terrible. The Raiders have had horrible defensive backs for 20 years, and this is probably their easiest matchup on the entire schedule of a bunch of unknown receivers that have, and I say Josh Palmer, I know he's been in the league a long time, but let's be honest, where was Josh Palmer a year ago depth chart-wise compared to where he is now? Now he's the one. It's not because he earned the one. It's because he's the best of what's remaining. And for the Raiders to go on, we can do this. I think you're looking at a game, obviously you're looking at a low-scoring game, but at the same time, I think we have the better coach. I've said this for a long time. I think Antonio Pierce is a phony. I think he basically coaches off of enthusiasm and BS. I just don't think Antonio Pierce is a guy that has a coaching staff that surrounds him to make him that much better, make the team that much better. And I think Jim Harbaugh basically has said, I got to make a great first impression. Justin Herbert wants to make a great first impression. That offensive line wants to make a great first impression. And I think overall, it might be a low-scoring game. Chargers win this game. And the stadium, we all know, if you've ever seen a Raider Charger game in Los Angeles, there are a ton of Raider fans there. The fans don't play. It doesn't matter if there are 60,000 Raider fans in SoFi Stadium. None of them are coming on the field to make a tackle or make a block. Okay? It might not feel like a complete home game. So what? You silence those guys by scoring first, controlling the clock, controlling the ball. And I think the Chargers are going to be in good shape for this one. I think for both fan bases, it's going to be a what are we kind of game, right? When you see the Chiefs play the Ravens this week, you're going to sit there and go, it's the same Chiefs and Ravens that we've seen for the last few years. When you see the Raiders, you're going to go, okay, this is what the 2024 Raiders look like. And when we see the Chargers, this is what the 2024 Chargers look like. It is, it's going to be, to my opinion, one of the more exciting games of the week. I know it's not going to get a ton of coverage, but this will be one of those where if your fan base wants to know what are we, I like the Chargers' chances of what we are better than what the Raiders are.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the other interesting too on this is it's a game of revenge, kind of like everywhere, right? Like that's all I see in this game of revenge. We all remember last year the just absolute embarrassment that got Staley fired. And then there's Mac that always wants to get revenge on the Raiders. And we remember the 6 sacks he had in one game against them last year when we first faced them. You have Devontae Adams that had the whole social media thing where he got butt hurt that they, put him next to a Pop-Tart. And, he got made, a whole pissy party about that. So it's like a game of revenge just all starting on the field. And like you said, it's a game of like a new era for both organizations. It's a new era of Antonio Pierce with the Raiders. It's a new era for the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh taking over as head coach. So it's teams that are both really need a statement and they hate each other and it's a rivalry. So it's going to be a lot of juice. And you mentioned something interesting too in there. It's going to be low scoring. And I think both teams are going to have the same thing of, hey, let's score first and then manage the game. Like if I'm the Raiders, I'm going, we got to score on the first drive. Max Crosby, hit Herbert as hard as you can on the first drive. We're going to win the game 7-0. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to control the damn ball. We're going to control the possession, and we're going to control the field, and we're going to make sure to win this game in the most painful way possible. The uglier it is, it goes towards the Raiders. The prettier it is, it goes towards the Chargers. And I know we've said that 1,000 times, but it's just, I think it's going to be a game of possession, Josh. And if it's pretty, it leans towards Bolts. If it gets really, really ugly, Antonio Pierce is smiling on the sideline with Max Crosby because it's going their way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Raiders are going to try to make this an ugly game. I'm curious to see how the Chargers play under Greg Roman, though. Are we going to try to make it an ugly game as well? That's kind of what his model's been throughout his coaching career. It's interesting that you have the Raiders versus the Chargers out in the AFC West with run-first coordinators. It's just, I can't even fathom that in my head. That's just unusual. So I'm looking at the box score last year because we have some idiots in the chat talking about the 63-21 game last year. Quarterback was Easton Stick. He's our third string quarterback now. The guys that ran the ball, Isaiah Spiller, Joshua Kelly, Easton Stick, and Austin Eckler. Not one of those guys is still on the roster. Josh Palmer had 4 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. Then you had Gerald Everett, who's no longer on the team. Austin Eckler, who's no longer on the team. Jalen Guyton, Alex Erickson, Josh Kelly. All these guys are no longer on the team. For the Raiders, on the other hand, all of these guys are still on the team. You have Devontae Adams. You have Zamir White. You have Amir Abdullah. You have Aiden O'Connell. I understand that Gardner Minshew's the quarterback, but it did come between Aiden O'Connell and him towards the end. It's a whole new Chargers team compared to what there was last year. This is a whole new battle. The 3 guys that led the Chargers in tackles in this game, which there's no defense, was Eric Kendricks, no longer on the team, Austin Johnson, no longer on the team, and Michael Davis, no longer on the team. So if anybody wants to point out the Raiders versus the Chargers 63-21, you can say right back to them, this is an entire new Charger team.
I couldn't agree more. It's a completely different matchup. You have big name guys on the Raiders that I expect to play well, right? We expect Max Crosby to get his. Also, Devontae Adams gets his. I mean, history tells you kind of poke the bear a little bit with him. At the same time, someone has to give him the ball. There's going to be a concerted effort to get Devontae Adams the ball. I mean, that's the biggest thing going. If anyone watched that receiver show, when anyone's watched Devontae Adams, the difference of a player he was with the Packers compared to what's with the Raiders, it's not like he stinks all of a sudden. Davante Adams isn't getting the opportunities that a star wide receiver of his caliber should be getting. He is one of the guys in the NFL that is so good at his position. We always talk about receivers and cornerbacks talk more than anybody on the field. Davante Adams usually doesn't do a lot of talking. He was very upset, though, with the Chargers social media post. And if you're Gardner Minshew and you want to basically get on his good side because it came down to we're going to wait till the last second before we name a starting quarterback, the idea is, hey, I got the job, barely beat out a guy that no one even heard of 2 years ago. I better get number 17 the ball. There's going to be an effort to get him the ball. Jim Harbaugh knows that, and his defensive staff knows that as well. I think, Mario, going back to what you said, I think this is going to be a slow and steady game for the Chargers.
Yeah.
We talk about this is going to be a game of who makes the least amount of mistakes. I trust the Chargers. And I know there are a bunch of Raider fans that are here in the chat, which I love, by the way. I hope it happens every week that we get other fan bases that jump in these chats because you guys start fighting with each other, and I'm here for the entertainment. I trust what Jim Harbaugh does to eliminate mistakes. Even Greg Roman, who right now, not a huge fan of, kind of like old school football, like Josh was saying, it feels like I'm watching 1972. I still trust him for that team to make the least amount of mistakes, least amount of turnovers, and the Chargers to win this game.
Yeah.
Besides Max Crosby, Mario, I was going to ask you, is there any matchups you're looking at? Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, Max Crosby, Joe Alt. Is there anything that you circle in your head? Hey, this is something I'm really looking at going into the Raiders-Chargers game?
It's really the Alt versus Crosby that really, really worries me. Because, I know Herbert's kind of put it to ease with the foot thing. But we've seen it happen all the time. And I'm worried that just in week one, the best pass rusher in the game gets to our quarterback, and our quarterback's just not mobile currently. Like, I know he's, again, put together, pipe down all the worry about it, but just that coming at this early, I don't really like it. And something I'm really watching for is just how is that going to go? Is that going to go well? We shall see. I think the other matchup too that I'm keen on, and it's not really a matchup between Charger and Raider, it's a matchup between Charger and Charger, is who gets the most reps of J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, right? Because Greg Roman said today he's going to go with the hot hand. So who starts off hot early, right? Like who gets off the bat and has an 8-yard run, and then he's getting the next 2 carries? Who kind of takes that step and kind of takes the mantle, and how does that help us win this football game? So that's the thing I'm kind of really looking for, is which running back's going to step up. Fantasy wise, I'm just going to let you guys know this. I would stay the hell away from both, because it's just like if you're going to go with the hot hand, you're just about to get screwed either way. So that's what I'm looking for, Josh, is those two right there. That's the big matchup for me.
I like that. It's funny how everybody says, J.K. Dobbins is going to be the number 1 running back for the Chargers. Look out for J.K. Dobbins. And I hope J.K. Dobbins has a great season. But when it comes down to fantasy football, and I hate comparing fantasy football to real, the real team.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards is always picked much higher than J.K. Dobbins. Why? Because Gus Edwards is the one that scores the touchdowns, and he's been more consistent staying on the field. I couldn't agree with you more. I really care about Joe Alt. It's very important to us Charger fans. I really care about Asante Samuel Jr. I don't think I'm going to learn anything about Asante Samuel Jr. in this game. I hope he can just contain Davante Adams, right? They always say if you're going to guard Kevin Durant, you're not going to stop Kevin Durant. You just want to keep him less than 25 points. If Davante Adams has 1 touchdown and 75 yards, I think Asante Samuel Jr. did a wonderful job. It's J.K. Dobbins and it's Gus Edwards. Who's going to be the guy that gets most of the carries? Who are we looking at this year? Is J.K. Dobbins going to be able to have 15 carries a game? Can he stay healthy throughout a season with 15 carries a game? As us Charger fans, that's something we should look at. What do we have in our running backs? Do we have any tight end on this roster that's going to make any difference in the passing game? Like, that is a big deal, right? I can guarantee you that nobody was drafting Hayden Hurst or Will Disley in their fantasy football league. Like, these are 2 guys that need to make a difference. I understand that we run the ball first. Justin Herbert's all-world. Josh Palmer's pretty good. Landon McConkey should be fine. Quentin Johnston's on the up. You need a tight end, like, period. You can't just go throughout a season without a tight end that doesn't make a difference. If Hayden Hurst does anything in this game, I'll be happy, Mario.
What's funny is I don't know how you prepare for the Chargers. Like, if I'm on the Raiders side, I have no idea what I'm doing to prepare. I can sit there and look back at old film of what Greg Roman has done in the past. Look, Justin Herbert's different. He's just different. He's a different quarterback than Greg Roman has had in the past. At the same time, I just don't know how you prepare for that team. I mean, what do? You're saying we're just going to, stack it? I mean, that's not exactly it. On defense, how do you prepare for the Chargers? The guy to me that is the big question mark if I'm the Raiders on defense is going, what's Derwin James going to do in this game? Because what Brandon Staley did with them is not what we're going to see what Derwin James is going to do. You're going to see, I think, Derwin James what he looked like closer when he first came into the league. He was out of position the entire time Brandon Staley was here. He did basically Brandon Staley's defense did nothing to help Derwin James' career. At the same time, I know there's a guy in the front office with the Raiders and Tom Telesco that really wants to win this game. But Jim Harbaugh is going to get a chance to control this game a lot more than Tom Telesco will with the Raiders. I think the Chargers are really a tough team to prepare for because they didn't show you anything in the preseason. You don't know what direction they're going to go. I mean, in your mind, you can go, hey, J.K. Dobbins is going to be the guy all the way to the red zone, and then you're going to see Gus Edwards, but you don't know if that's the case. And for me, really, the only guy that I don't know what I'm going to get from the Raiders is how are they going to use their double tight ends? What's Brock Bowers going to be lined up as? I thought it was interesting that the Raiders, I think it was a game against the Cowboys, that they used Brock Bowers in the backfield and then had him go out for a pass. Why would you show that in the preseason? Why would you show that to anybody? I mean, because he did come out unblocked, caught a ball wide open and scores, and you're going or got a large gain off of it. Why would you tip your hand at all? It just shows you how dumb Antonio Pierce and his staff is. Why would you tip your hand on anything? But I think the Chargers really, to me, would be, I'd almost would rather face, this sounds crazy what I'm going to say. People are going to think I'm nuts. If I was the Raiders, I think I'd rather face the Chiefs in game one, knowing what the playbook is more likely of how they attack than the Chargers. There's not a team in the NFL that knows exactly what the Chargers are going to do and how they're going to attack and how they're going to attack you on both sides of the ball.
They did beat them last year.
The Raiders beat the Chargers? What are you saying? I know they blew them out. It was one of the worst days going. If you're
no, but didn't the Raiders? Or was that the year before where they got they got them in the end? What year was that? You know what I'm talking about? Where they got the Chiefs in the end? I gotta have a refresh my memory. But you know what I'm talking about?
The Raiders beat the Chiefs. You mean? Yes.
Yeah, they beat the. I got that right.
Yes.
On Christmas, they beat them 20-14. So I do get your point right there. I don't know if I want to face. What are you saying?
How would you prepare? How would you prepare game one? I mean, again, they're going in blind. This is one of those where you're gonna have to try and react after the first quarter or halftime of going, this is what they're doing.
God, because my first instinct was almost like pack the box and like take away the run game. So I know what Roman wants to do, but then I don't want to get But then at the same time though, and what you're gonna take the approach, Josh, of like, oh, we're gonna make the receivers beat us. Well, if you see in the NFL, if you have a great quarterback, quarterbacks can make receivers great. And that can't, like, Julian Edelman was a fine receiver. Tom Brady made him great. You know, Josh Allen's made a lot of guys great. Mahomes made Kadarius Toney look suitable, and he stinks, and he's not on the roster anymore. But like, so it's hard. I do understand like the approach to the Chargers is going to be difficult because you don't really know what you're going to get. But I would argue that that's kind of the same thing going our way too with the Raiders because it's kind of weird, right? Like, how do you prepare for this Luke Getsy offense because he's dealing with a completely different quarterback? Like that would be kind of a difficult thing too. So like I see both sides, but like it's just gonna be a difficult approach on both ends. But I think we all can agree though, it's gonna be a real low scoring game. Like if any team gets to 24 points, I mean that's a wow. You're like, what the hell? Like that someone would be on drugs. I think I was on drugs if I saw 24 on a scoreboard.
I'm with you, man. I don't know about the drugs, but I'm with you on the low scoring game. The question was, what would be your scouting report against the Chargers? I'm bringing the house a lot of the time, dude. We have a rookie right tackle in Joe Alt. We got Trey Pipkins at right guard when he was a tackle last season. And I would say we're going to have Josh Palmer and Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston beat us. I'll take my chances. I'm not going to let Justin Herbert sit back in the pocket and have time to throw the ball because we know he can fit it into any window. I'm putting the pressure on Justin Herbert. He says his foot's 100%. Who knows what it is? You know, why not just test it out? Try to bring everybody at him and go one-on-one with Jack Jones and Josh Palmer, whoever the best corners are in the Raiders, and do it that way. That's how I'd 100% go at this game. If I'm looking at the Chargers going against the Raiders, I would not do that. I would not have Devontae Adams go against Asante Samuel Jr. one-on-one and be on an island. I would want to bring two people at Devontae Adams, maybe give Jacoby Myers one-on-one. Brock Bowers, to me, is the huge, huge problem for the Chargers. I've seen this dude in college. He is unbelievable. For any of you that don't watch SEC football or watch Georgia last season or the last 3 seasons, unbelievable player. He's more of an H-back where he can play tight end and be in the backfield, like Dave said. I think the Raiders are complete idiots for showing that in the preseason. Circle that for the Chargers. Brock Bowers. We know what we're getting out of Devontae Adams. Zamir White, I think he's a fine running back. Brock Bowers is the huge question mark. You have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what they have going on for the Raiders. He could be a big problem for the Chargers on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And here's the deal. And if the Raiders end up winning this game, it's because Gardner Minshew was the one that beat them. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only way it could possibly happen is that quarterback was able to step up. Marty, you brought up a good point. The only time he's had success, I mean, real success in the NFL was when his coach was Shane Steichen, who's no longer his coach anymore. I think the Raiders coaching staff it's bizarre. Like I completely expect that staff to be cleaned after this year. Tom Telesco is going to set things up, I think, his way with the real NFL coaching staff. Again, it's one of those where the old Herm Edwards deal where you get everybody through excitement and enthusiasm that Josh McDaniels is gone, who is a nightmare, and we're going to play really hard for this guy. It's hard to make that thing last now for the next 17 games. That is worn off. It's what are you made of, what's behind your brain, and how you're going to go. Jim Harbaugh has proven he can go in any program and turn that program around, and he can do it fast. He's done it everywhere he's been. And we've said it before. We didn't say this was a Super Bowl team, but at the same time, Jim Harbaugh has had tremendous success right away. Heard on a radio show early this morning, they were saying that Jim Harbaugh, when he took over the 49ers, they hadn't made the playoffs in 8 years, 13-3 first year. Just that's the way he does. Did it with Stanford, did it with USD, turned Michigan around, all that stuff that he's done. And man, I as much as we goof on his love for Justin Herbert, man, he believes in him. And anyone who will tell you history of quarterbacks, how they have the fragile egos when it comes to their head coaches. Even Vince Lombardi, who's all over Bart Starr, you read the stories, and Bart Starr says, "Look, I can't lead the team unless you show the people on the outside you believe in me." Jim Harbaugh has done nothing but show he believes in Justin Herbert. He cannot give enough compliments to him.
Yeah. If I was to ask you, Mario, if you could have advantage in 3 positions on the field, what would they be? And even off the field, I'll answer it first because I know where I'm going with this. It would be head coach in no order. I'd go head coach, quarterback, and offensive line. Honest to God, the Chargers have the advantage in all 3. We have the better head coach, we have the better quarterback, and I believe we have the better offensive line. That's why I think the Chargers are going to win this game against the Raiders. Devontae Adams, I believe, is the best playmaker on the field. I don't think anybody would argue against that. But we have the best quarterback on the field by a mile. We have the better coach by a mile. And I think our offensive line is going to be the most improved in the NFL.
I'm with you on that. And something that you guys mentioned earlier that I want to piggyback off of, this game is going to be a game of who makes the most mistakes, loses it. I trust that when you look at two QBs, Herbert's not going to make a mistake. Gardner Minshew is going to make a lot of mistakes. He's going to, because he's not in this Shane Steichen protective offense anymore. He's in a Luke Getsy offense that has proven to not be very successful. It's going to be tough. And you're facing a Mac and a Bosa in this new era where they both could just be ready to go. And I think they're going to be ready to go. And you're facing Harbaugh, who, honestly, besides the Ravens, I think this might be his most favorite team to start the year with. What, you're facing your rival and the Raiders? What's a better way to start off this new era than pounding them in the dirt? That's everything he could want and more. Is that or literally beating his brother? But he gets this option. I think he's gonna have him ready to go. And we mentioned multiple times too. Harbaugh's never had a QB like Herbert at any level. I mean, Luck. I'll give you Andrew Luck. Yeah, but JJ McCarthy, Kaepernick, Smith, all don't even touch Herbert. It's going to be a Charger win. I think it's going to be a slow win. If we're doing scores, do you guys want to do scores now? We're
going to do it last when we do our picks. We'll do Chargers the last game. Before we get to picking games, because it always takes a little bit longer, Josh, why don't you read some of the comments? People are nice enough to pay to ask a question.
Yeah, Eric Valencia says, I can't say that. LFG. What does FTR mean? I was trying to figure that out earlier. Do we know what FTR means?
Raiders.
Oh, F the Raiders. I like that. F the Raiders week. Keep up the great show, guys. Bolt up. Thank you. Appreciate that, Eric.
Appreciate it.
And then Stephen Land says, hey, y'all should wear your jerseys. Want to see LT. I should wear my LT jersey. I don't even know why I haven't worn that on the show. Mario, you have a Chargers jersey you can wear?
My LT jersey is medium, and I'm an XL now, so it'd be a bra. But I can give me Amazon one-day ship something.
All right. Next one comes from Matthew Dahl. It says, F the Raiders. We like that.
Nice.
I like that.
Next,
You guys have to pay to say F the Raiders. That's awesome.
Yeah.
we have Sean Bergen with $1.69, which is very random, but nice.
Followed up.
The Sean Bergen followed up with 99 cents. So thank you for
There you
that.
go.
Next one is Mighty. Who do you think has the better run game in this one between the Raiders and the Chargers? Great question. I think it's a really good question. I'll go first. I'm assuming J.K. Dobbins is healthy and he's 80% of what he was the last time we saw him healthy on the field. So I will say Chargers. I think Gus Edwards is the most underrated running back in the NFL. How can a guy score that many touchdowns in the season and be considered a number 2 running back, right? If he's a guy that scores that many touchdowns as your number 2, you have to have a very good running back room. I think the Chargers with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards being 2 pretty different running backs are going to be more dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be Chargers in this. I think they're going to make it a staple to run the football all season long. I think it's going to start in week 1. They're going to pound that rock, baby. And I think if on the other side, on the Raiders side, I think they're going to try to get Devontae Adams involved as much as possible and kind of try to go that route, Dave. So I think it's just in terms of preparation, Chargers want to run it. I think Raiders are just going to go, let's just get Devontae and get to the best guy on the field.
Hey, Mike G has a question right here. It says, guys, what do you worry about injury-wise besides Herbert? For me, it's one guy. I mean, to the point where I'm ready to say I told you so, and it's J.K. Dobbins. I mean, J.K. Dobbins can play through the 17 games. Man, I really like the Chargers' chances this year. Everyone has waited. His entire family, he has waited to stay healthy. The guy was incredible at Ohio State. It's a shame that he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But I always feel it's just a matter of time with certain guys. He's my biggest concern. I think, honestly, the team is a completely different team on what you're going to get out of the Chargers if J.K. Dobbins can stay healthy for 17 games.
I agree. I'd also throw Joey Bosa in there. I mean, can Joey Bosa play 17 games? I have J.K. Dobbins and Joey Bosa. What? You don't think
I don't buy any of Joey's injuries. I'm sorry. He's the boy who cried wolf. I just don't buy it. I'm burnt out on it. Like Joey, I think in my mind right now, if I'm Joey Bosa, I got something to prove to my head coach. He's not even concerned about his teammates. I think you got to prove to your head coach. I think it's the number one worry. It's not the fan base. It's not his teammates. It's his head coach. I just don't buy any of Joey's injuries. That I'm able to predict when Joey gets hurt and when Joey comes back is insane. That's how little I have faith in what he's saying is the truth. You know,
who plays more games, J.K. Dobbins or Joey Bosa?
Joey Bosa is going to play more, but that's not saying a lot. I mean, God dang, Ronnie Lott cut off his finger. You know what I mean? To keep playing, it's more important to certain people. You know, it's more important than Khalil Mack. Everybody hurts. Damn, man. But when you know you're going to get paid not to play the same amount as if you do play, I just don't think it's been that important to Joey. I just don't look at Joey as that guy. I wish he was. I just don't think he's that guy.
I'd also like to point out for all the Charger fans out there, they're saying we have Mack and Bosa. You understand the Raiders are telling everyone all over social media they have the best combination in the NFL with Wilkins and Crosby. So we're not the only ones that feel that way about our guys.
Yeah.
They feel the same way about theirs.
Also, for that one last one there, anyone on the receiving core. Because as soon as one goes down, whoo, we're getting
DJ Chark's already hurt. DJ Chark is already hurt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's Ladd, but then Ladd's going to get some more reps from him, so that's all good.
I think it's an absolute joke that Ladd McConkey's listed as a backup in the depth chart. How about that? There's no way anybody believes that. He's drafted number 1 in every single fantasy football league I was in over Josh Palmer because everybody believes he's going to be the guy for all the targets.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven over here, Steven Land asks, if you guys could wear one right now, you guys have to read. I can't see it. I can't see. Sorry.
Make
if y'all could wear. Y'all can make the wear jersey right now. Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have access. The closest jersey we have is the one to the right of Josh. It's Junior Seau signed autographed jersey in a frame. We aren't pulling that out. We do have a few in the house though. Like I think we have a Merriman and we have a LT in the house, right?
Yeah, Derwin James.
Yeah, we have like 3 of them, you know, that we could grab. Anyway, we'll hook up the jersey. I'll tell you right now, the jersey that I plan on buying is going to be Herbert. That's the one. That's the one I'm going to grab. Is going to be Justin Herbert. If you had to buy one, Mario, which one would you buy?
Of these current guys?
Current guys.
Dude,
someone on the team now.
I'm definitely going Junior Colson.
Is that right? Going number 25. Okay.
Dude, I
By the way,
live for the linebackers.
there you
That was
go. I
my
like it.
dream position. Yeah.
Is that right? I could see that. You're the kind of guy that would jump on that 405 freeway and just start tackling cars because someone dared you. You'd be that
Dude,
guy.
it was like I was just never big enough, but like that was my dream. Like, dude, I thought that was the funnest. You just run downhill for like 10 times. It'd be so fun. Not every play, but like the plays you get to, it'd be so fun.
Yeah. There you go. Look at you. All right. Did I miss anyone else, Josh? Do we have anyone else in the super chats?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't
You
get
gonna do
anyone.
predictions? Game predictions?
Yeah, let's go through it. We got a lot of games to go through.
All right. I got the spreads up.
Let's do it. Who's writing
Boys
this down?
ready?
Hold on. Hey, Sean has another one, Josh, right there. I don't know if you catch it before you grab it. So nice not to spend $5.
Shoot, why am I not getting it? Oh, Mario. He said I've missed
Any
the
watch
comment
parties?
every time. Mario, any watch parties that you're going to be watching in DC or you're going to be going to in DC?
I got invited. So all my friends here are all from Cincinnati. I got invited to like a Cincinnati thing.
Don't do it.
But I'm all set. Yeah, I probably won't be doing that. I spaz out too in the games. Yeah. Because I'm betting, and then we're taking notes, and then we stream after. So I'm like,
grown men in tiger stripes. It's not for me.
Yeah, Skyline chili dip too is not that nice. Yeah,
you guys all dressed like Tony the Tiger. Yeah. All right. Here's the deal too. The way I watch games, I don't like anyone in the room that's not rooting for my team.
Yes,
like it really bothers me because when things go bad, I just want to knock them out, and then I throw them out of the house. Get out. Because if the team loses, I just don't like guys who are rooting against my team, especially in my own home. Beat it. It drives me crazy. You can only come into the house or watch the games with me if you're rooting for the same team I'm rooting for. Can't take it at all.
Same goes for betting. If as soon as I walk in the room, I always say, "Are we all on the same thing?" Because as soon as you're not, like things are,
I'm with you.
God watcher. Yeah, so like I'm gonna get pissed. I'm gonna get excited. So it's just we gotta make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's go. Let's get to these games. Mario, you gonna control it?
I got you. I got the game.
And we pick with the spread. For anyone who wants to know, we pick with a spread. If you find a casino out there that doesn't have spreads, let us know. We would like to show up and start placing our bets there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us too if you want.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Did I win last year, by the way? Who won last year?
I thought I won.
Josh, shut up. No one.
I think I won.
No, Josh won. Josh won.
Josh won?
Yeah,
is that
Josh
right?
Won.
Yeah, I know you finished last. That's all I know.
Shut up, Dave.
The year before you won. You won the year before. 2022 was a good year for you.
Yeah. And then it all fell apart.
Then you got cocky. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Cocky. All right. That's Amazon. All right, here it is. All right, starting off Thursday Night Football, Ravens, Chiefs. I've already bet this.
Have you really?
I've bet everything Tuesday night. So I sprayed the board. Just freaking. All right, but Ravens, Chiefs, 3-point favorites. This started out at 2.5. Josh, what do you think?
Got Ravens. I got Ravens. Chiefs lost last year against the Lions in the opening game. Ravens have a lot to prove this season. Chiefs don't. I think the Ravens win. All right, Ravens cover, excuse me.
I'm going Ravens cover as well. I know early in the season, usually the favorites cover. The Chiefs were surprised by Detroit last year. I have a feeling Mario, though, picked the Chiefs.
I did pick the Chiefs. I did bet the Chiefs. I don't think they lose.
Bet this game.
I just don't think they lose and don't cover 2 years in a row in week 1, especially against the Ravens. I think the Ravens are depleted with everything we just took away from them and more. So I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Packers, Eagles in Brazil, and no team can leave their hotel. Literally. Eagles are 2-point favorites in this one. Dave, who do you think, Eagles or Green Bay?
I'm going Green Bay in this one. I don't think the Eagles hit basically a free fall last year after a great start, never rebounded. I think they should have made a coaching change, and I think I think the Packers are on the up. What they did against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas in the postseason, I think the Packers are only going forward. I'm going Packers.
All right, I'm going to go Eagles. I think everybody's going against the Eagles this season, saying they're on the way down. Packers are on the way up. I disagree. I think the Packers are going to take a step backwards. I don't think they're going to be as great as everybody says they are. I have the Eagles covering in this game.
God, I have Green Bay because I don't really believe in the The Eagles give me, I don't know, bad vibes with all the Serini and Jalen Hurts. We love each other. We don't love each other. It's like a high school relationship that, like I said, both went on spring break to two different places. So give me the Packers.
What was the spread on this one again? Sorry.
2.
You got
Very
2.
weird
I got 2.5.
spread.
I got 2.5 on ESPN. You got 2?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 at the.
I got the Eagles covering either way. I think, dude, Saquon and Jalen, like,
Yeah.
good luck with that. I just wouldn't want to tackle that all game.
Well, good luck when they call the plays when guys are coming back saying I was open. Like AJ's going to be okay. Other guys getting the ball. Good luck.
He's going to be that. Talk about a backfield that no one can squat more than Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. I mean, there's
the most in NFL history.
Seriously,
100%.
dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh my God. All right. Jags, Dolphins. Dolphins are at home, 3.5-point favorites. What do you think, Josh?
I got the Dolphins in a blowout. I think the Jaguars are complete pretenders. If you give me a healthy Dolphins team with Achane and Mostert and Waddle and Hill, I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the best offenses in the NFL. The issue with the Dolphins is they're always hurt. If you ever have a Dolphins player in fantasy football, it's always a Q next to their name because you never know if they're going to play. I assume they're all healthy in week 1, and they're going to blow out the Jaguars.
With Josh on this one, going Miami big time. It's kind of funny. You're thinking both those teams probably think if we can get a home game early, the other teams aren't going to be able to do it. The heat and the humidity. I mean, both these teams kind of got ripped off playing each other in week 1, right? I mean, talk about a huge advantage playing in the heat and humidity and practicing in it. And then the first team you face has been in the same exact circumstance.
Yeah, it's like Dolphins like, can we not get Bills week 1?
Yeah, please.
Like, yeah, someone like that. I'm with
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle would be beautiful. I'm with you guys on this, by the way. I think Dolphins 3.5. I'm really down on the Jags. I've had to hear a lot of people pump up the Jags the past couple weeks. I don't get it, man. I think Trevor Lawrence is not what he's supposed to be. Next one, a disgusting game. Steelers, Falcons. Falcons 3-point favorites in this one. This is in Atlanta, Dave. So who do you have here?
I'm going Pittsburgh in this one. I think Pittsburgh covers.
I'm with Dave. I think Falcons win the game, but Pittsburgh covers. Russell Wilson's not as bad as people make him out to be. I don't think he's great by any means, but he's not as bad as people make him out to be. This is the first time Kirk Cousins has played in a real game with his new teammates. It's not like things are going to I might be the dumbest guy ever, but I don't think things are going to click like crazy in the first game. I have the Steelers covering. Yeah, Pitts is already hurt.
I mean, Pitts is already hurt, and then you have Mike Tomlin. I just have faith in Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you guys. I think Falcons win, but cover. I bet Steelers cover. I also think that's an OT game if I've ever seen one. Like Raheem Morris, had some bad head coaching decisions. Kirk Cousins throws for 300 yards and still keeps it close somehow. Falcons pull up, Steelers cover. There we go. All right, next one. This one's probably the worst game of the day. Actually, I don't know. These next two are pretty bad. Giants, Vikings in New York. Vikings are 1.5-point favorites, Josh. So who do you think kind of takes this one? This is disgusting.
Yeah, this is the worst game of the week for me. I'm going to go Giants cover. I mean, I just don't care. I wish I could say I don't care when we pick games for this one because there's no chance I watch this. But Giants, I guess, cover.
Yeah, this is a battle of really bad quarterback play, right? I mean, this is where we kind of the most interesting thing is which quarterback's going to commit the most turnovers. I'm going Minnesota in this one. I think the Giants are a complete disaster.
Here's something disgusting.
You bet this game?
It's my biggest bet of the weekend.
God dang it.
On the Vikings. -1.5. Dude, I think the Giants are bad. I think they're really bad.
You're a degenerate, dude, to bet this game.
I mean, I think but I don't think Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold's a very good, suitable backup, and his receiving corner, Addison. I don't think he practiced today or was limited. I still think he's gonna play. But dude, him and Jefferson against that secondary is gonna be insane. So like, and I would also take the under in that game as well because that's going to be really, really brutal. All right,
Dude, if I could place a bet on the first NFL player to just throw his helmet, it would be on Malik Neighbors. You know,
yeah,
like in the first quarter, just guns his helmet into the bench as soon as he crosses the sideline. I'm going. Malik Neighbors would be my guy.
yeah, him and like Adams would be right behind him.
Yeah.
Panthers Saints. Saints 4-point favorites against Carolina Panthers. Woo! This one's ugly. Also, I bet this game. Sadly, Dave, who do you think
Where's this game at?
in New Orleans?
Oh boy, damn it! I want to go Carolina so bad, dude, in this game because everyone keeps saying Carolina looks much better, much different than they did before. You know what? I'm going crazy. I'm going to go Carolina in this game anyway. 4 points is a lot for the NFL, and I have zero faith. And you talk about good relationships between the quarterback and the head coach. The Saints have neither. I'm going Carolina on the road in this one to cover those 4 points.
I'm with Dave. I have the same exact thing as him. I think the Saints are going to be a mess this year. I think the Panthers are going to be much improved. Panthers cover.
I'm with you guys, Panthers, and Dave Canales, Coach of the Year 21, baby. Need it.
I'm hearing great things. I mean, honestly, I'm hearing great things. What's going on in Carolina?
He's been real hands-on. He's been good.
Dude, there's always one first-year coach that really takes off you don't see coming. There's always one. You just got to find the one. And I hope that's
okay.
him.
I hope so.
All right. We're still in the 1 o'clock games. Holy hell. All right, I'll be quicker. Pats, Bengals minus 8.5 in Cincinnati, playing the worst team in football. What do you think, Josh?
Cover. Patriots suck. I don't know what else to say about that. I think the Bengals are one of the best teams in the league. I think they're going to cover 8.5 points over the Patriots.
Agree with Josh. I mean, it's funny you talk NFL. That's a big point spread, 8.5. Dude, New England's barely an NFL team. I mean, they're an NFL team by name only. Right? I'm going Cincinnati.
I don't want to say Cincinnati, but I'm saying Cincinnati. Cincinnati 8.5. The Patriots are holy mama, they're bad. All right, next one. We go to the Windy City. Tennessee Titans, Chicago Bears. Bears 3.5-point favorites. And Dave, you have an insulting fact about this game, so I'm going to ignore you and go to Josh first.
So I think the Bears are going to be very, not very good, but I think they're going to be a pretty good team. I have the Titans covering in this game for the simple fact that it's Caleb Williams' first NFL game. Keenan Allen is already questionable. I don't know if the Titans are going to win the game, but I think they cover.
All right, I'm going to go Bears in this game. I'm going to go Bears. I like what I see with the Bears. I just watched the last episode of Hard Knocks with the Bears this morning. Here's the deal. Here's the stat that Mario was talking about. Since 2002, quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall are 0-14-1 in their first start. Can't read the rest that Mario wrote on the side, but at the same time, I'm going Chicago. I think Caleb Williams gets a win. Look, here's the deal, Mario, and for all your family and friends in Chicago, if the Bears don't beat the Titans in game 1, good luck, dude, the rest of the year. This is not going to be a good start. The Titans don't know who they are.
Yeah, if they don't do that, I mean, post week 11, the Bears might not win a football game. That being said, I'm with Josh, actually. I think the Bears definitely win, but I think Titans cover. I think they keep it close. I don't think this is going to be a blowout game. I just think it's going to be a close game with nerves and stuff like that. They say Will Levis is looking a lot better in camp. I don't buy it.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. So we'll see with that. Their backfield's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see which running back kind of pops off in that game.
Here's what's crazy. If Mike Vrabel was still the coach of the Titans, all of us would say without a doubt, Titans are covering. There's no way you're beating Mike Vrabel by more than 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, if I saw that 3.5 with Mike Vrabel, I would have put my paycheck on it.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Don't do that, though. All right, responsible gambling. Cardinals, Bills. I really need this line to get to 7.5, so everyone please bet the Bills. But 6.5 right now. Buffalo Bills are the favored, and it's at Buffalo. So what do you think, Dave?
Man, I don't like the Bills at all this season. That being said, it's a long flight, right? You're looking at about 3,000 miles. I'm gonna, boy, it's tough. I remember the Cards a couple years ago. knocked off the Titans like 40 to like nothing or whatever. Remember that? They in week 1 they had to travel all the way through. That's my gambling story. I mean, that's my craziest story I've ever seen in the NFL. Remember I told you I was in Phoenix, right across the street from the Cardinal Stadium, and the guy walked out of the hotel while I was eating breakfast in full Titans gear, and I watched him walk right up to the front door. No one in the parking lot, trying to be let in for the game. He was in the wrong city. The guy literally got on a plane, went to the wrong city, stayed in the hotel. So I assume he wasn't from Phoenix. I thought the Cardinals Titans game was in Phoenix, and the game was in Nashville. I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna go Bills in this one. I don't know what Josh Allen's gonna do. I don't care. But the Bills defense is tell you what, screw it. I'm changing. I'm going Cards. That Bills defense is not even close to what it was. Everyone that was good on the Bills outside of Josh Allen's basically gone.
He took my thunder away from me. Take away Josh. All right, this sounds crazy, but if you take away Josh Allen, Cardinals have a better team. Straight up.
Oh, not even close.
You look at the Cardinals team, you look at the Bills team, the Cardinals have a better team. And Kyler Murray wasn't very bad last year. He was actually pretty damn good last season. Yeah. He's healthy. James Conner's healthy. You have Marvin Harrison Jr., you have Trey McBride. Yeah. It's not a bad team. 8.5 for a team that I don't think is that bad against, or 6.5, excuse me, going to Buffalo, to a team that has Shakir as their number 1 receiver and Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid. There's just way too many question marks with the Buffalo Bills. Cardinals cover.
Take away Josh Allen, the other Patriots.
Honestly.
Yeah. Coach, too, that's coaching for his life this year.
Al-Qaeda.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call on his part. Yeah, put me down for Cardinals. If it goes to 7 or 7.5, that would be like my dream world. I'm taking the Cardinals. 6.5 is just dicey because of the touchdown bull crap, or you get Josh Allen doing like some miracle bull crap run. That could screw you in the end, but what are you gonna do? All right. Next one's Texans Colts to round up the first window. This game's actually a very popular game. Josh, what do you think? Texans 3-point favorites in Indianapolis.
So the craziest stat I've ever seen in my entire life this week. Anthony Richardson has played in 17 games since high school. He is a starting quarterback in his second year for an NFL team.
That's wild.
How is that even possible? I have the Texans covering. Anthony Richardson hasn't played in forever. I think the Texans are right there as the best offense in the NFL. I got the Texans.
Mark, you would have the information on this. I'm guessing, since not only are you the gambler on the show, but also because you have ties to Indianapolis. Are the Texans one of those teams that can't win in India? Am I right on that? Like they struggle there every year?
Yeah, it's that AFC South's that weird division where the Colts can't win in Jacksonville, and the Texans can't win in Indianapolis.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Texans though this time. I think the Texans are loaded with talent. I like the coach relationship. I like the quarterback. I like Willie Anderson. There's so many guys on the Texans that I like. But I'm going Texans in this game. I'd bet this one.
So all big time bettors are all on Colts. Weirdly enough, everyone is the Shane Steichen love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would lean towards Texans. I wouldn't bet this game. I would just watch it. The AR thing is really concerning. Also, people should know that in training camp I can't remember who they were scrimmaging against, but the other team was chanting for AR to pass the ball. So there was that back. So he kept taking off and running. Obviously, you can't hit the quarterback. And if you don't, pass in practice when you can't hit the quarterback, it's kind of hard to get your work in.
Good luck.
Yeah, literally. All right, Broncos, Seahawks. Crazy line. Seahawks are 6-point favorites in this one. It's in Seattle. Bo Nick's first start. Who do you think, Dave, since Bo's your boy?
Bo's not my boy, and I'm going Seattle in this one to cover.
Couldn't agree more. I think Seattle's an underrated team. Kenneth Walker, one of the most underrated players in the NFL. You got DK, you got Lockett, you got JSN. Geno Smith has been fine over there. I like the Seahawks to cover.
I'm taking Broncos.
Look at you. You just talked mad ass to me. And then you sit there and you pick the Broncos? Okay.
Yeah, I know. That was a gut call.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, I was cussed. All right. Commanders, Bucks. Bucks, 3.5-point favorites. It's in Tampa Bay. Jaden Daniels' first start against a pretty hard defense. What do you think here, Josh?
I got the Bucks all day long. I hate that the Commanders have Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler in their backfield. It just makes me say like gross. You know, like when I'm looking at fantasy football and I see both their names with the Commanders, I'm like, those are their two running backs. I just don't like that the Commanders got rid of Dotson. I think they're one of the worst organizations in the NFL. I like the Bucks, and people forget the Bucks were a playoff team last year, and the games in Tampa Bay.
I'm going Bucks as well. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw the story in the last 24 hours, but Washington's about to have another executive about to be suspended by the league. I mean, they can't get out of their own way. It has to be one of the worst run organizations in all the sports. Doesn't matter. There's new ownership. It's a mess.
Yeah, just when like you kind of thought things were kind of going for the good, and then you see that, and you're like, well, Commander or Washington's gonna Washington. Kind of funny, even all like with all that stuff. It's like, oh well, where are they? The capital. I always think about that. That's so ironic. All right, so funny enough, I'm taking the Commanders actually 3.5, just because I think it's a little. The 3.5 gives you a safety net if it's somehow close. I think Baker's having a regression year. This next game, I also bet Commanders Browns. Browns are 2.5-point favorites.
That's not right. What game is it? Commanders aren't playing doubleheader.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cowboys Browns. Cowboys Browns. Browns 2.5-point favorite in Cleveland. Who do you have here, Dave?
I'm going Browns. I'm going to go Cleveland in this one. The battle of pretty good defenses right here at the same time. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, what do the Cowboys have on offense? I'm going Cleveland, and the fact this game you said is in Cleveland. This is Amari Cooper paying Jerry Jones back for not giving him that contract.
100%. If one more person tells me that Rico Dowdle is a guy to watch out for the Dallas Cowboys, just stop. Like, he's probably gonna have a great game because I said that now, but Dave nailed it. There's one guy on that team in CeeDee Lamb. The Browns are a team that nobody wants to play this year. The Chargers got him this season. I'm not looking forward to that game. I think Amari Cooper, Roll Tide, one of the most underrated players in the NFL. That defense is phenomenal. I got the Browns.
Wow, we're 3 for 3. I'm big on this game. I'm big on the Browns. That defense is just going to swarm the Cowboys. The Cowboys have had anything but a good offseason. It's only been terrible, literally the worst. Deshaun Watson, I don't believe in, but I also don't believe in Dak. I don't believe in Big Man McCarthy to be anything but stupid. So I go to the next game now. Rams Lions.
Game of the week.
Game of the week, man. Game of the freaking week. Lions. God, I hate when it's at this number. Lions 4.5-point favorites against the Los Angeles Rams. Who do you have here, Josh?
I got the Rams covering and the Lions to win the game. I think the Lions have the number one offense in the NFL. Number one. When everybody's healthy on that team, they got 3 good running backs. Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
They got...
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right, he's muted. So, look, I'm going not only the Rams going to cover that 4.5, the Rams are going to win this game. I thought the Rams got cheated by the referees at the end of that game anyway in the playoffs last year. This game should be in Los Angeles. The NFL schedule makers messed it up. They should have let Jared Goff go back to L.A. and show the Rams you made a mistake when you made that trade to bring Stafford to L.A. Obviously, they won a Super Bowl with Stafford. They lost a Super Bowl with Goff. This is the second worst NFL mistake that I've seen that I can remember. The other big mistake that the NFL messed up, the Chargers traded Michael Vick on the day of the draft to the Atlanta Falcons, traded that right to draft Michael Vick to the Falcons. Michael Vick never played a game as a Falcon in San Diego. I was like, how do you guys blow this? This is one of those deals. LT in San Diego, Michael Vick comes back to San Diego. See what you lost. Everyone kid I knew in San Diego wore a Michael Vick Atlanta Falcons number 7 jersey. Everybody had one until the whole thing with the dogs happened. Okay, but at the same time, this is one where this game should have been in LA. Instead, they're putting it in Detroit. It's the Sunday night game. I love this game. I like this game more than I like the Ravens-Chiefs game on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Rams because it's weird number at 4.5. I think they keep it close. But I think Lions win the NFC, and I'm really high on the Lions. They bring back both coordinators, and I think that's a sign of a great season. Also slept on. My version of Michael Vick was Eagles Michael Vick when he won MVP that year. Dude, that was like, I've watched him every week. I was like, dude, this guy's the most insane football player I've ever seen.
Vick came back to San Diego when he was the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Remember that? It was all watched. Yeah. And they won, of course. They won.
What wasn't it? Wasn't it like I
Like
don't
a
know if
Monday night game
they
or Sunday night game.
I don't know if they intertwined there. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of wrong team. RG3 was back up for the Ravens, not Steelers. Ignore it.
Yeah.
That was bad. Josh, you gave your pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
got
picked
the
the, I
Rams.
picked the Rams to
cover.
cover, Lions to win.
Okay. All right. One more game for Chargers, Jets, Niners, Monday Night Football. Niners, 4.5-point favorite at home. What do you think here, Dave?
Dude, I would bet this game, Mario. I'd go 49ers. I tell you what, one thing about Aaron Rodgers, even the guys from the Bay Area, he never wins in the Bay Area, ever. Didn't win when he was with the Packers. Is not going to win with the Jets. I like the Niners big time in this game. And it's so funny because Aaron Rodgers should have been drafted ahead of Alex Smith the year he came out, but they chose Alex Smith. And Aaron Rodgers, like, instead of doing I told you so, you made a mistake, he never does. Got his ass kicked in the Bay Area his entire career, and it's going to happen again on Monday night.
I agree. I don't know if he gets his ass kicked, but I got the 49ers to cover.
Oh, God, I'm against
The
you guys.
ratings for this game are going to be crazy, by the way.
Crazy. I got the Jets.
Okay. Unless you're in if you're in the Los Angeles area, this game is not going to be on TV because
Oh, really?
ABC, ESPN don't have a contract with DirecTV. And even though we get ABC in San Diego right now, it's because it's not an owned and operated. So a little behind the scenes deal. The ABC in Los Angeles is an owned and operated company. And so you will not have the option to watch this game. Yeah, it's kind of nuts unless they fix that contract in the next few days. Like we have no ESPN right now on DirecTV at all.
That's crazy. I just did. I just got Sunday Ticket for the first time. I always just.
Is that right?
Yeah, I always schemed ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have Niners. What did you have, Josh?
Niners.
Mario, what do you have?
I have Jets. Also, Hassan Reddick still has not practiced.
Say that one more time.
Hassan Reddick has still not showed up.
Oh yeah, I know. Dude,
that's insane.
I love it. Good.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right, our final game.
We should place a bet. Who lasts longer than the NFL season? J.K. Dobbins or Mike Williams?
He's on a snap count in week 1. Mike Williams on a snap count. I'm not even kidding you. I got that alert today. He's on a snap count.
Oh boy.
All right.
Great.
Chargers are 3-point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders in LA. Josh Palais, what do you think?
I got the Chargers, and I have the Chargers winning by 3. So I don't know if that's considered a push. I don't gamble.
It was a push.
I do think the Chargers win this game, and we do score predictions. I'm going to go 2017 Chargers. I just think you got mine. You took mine.
I had the same thing. I had 27.
Sorry, you can use it. I just think that
I'll change mine up. I'll make it 2016 on me. Go ahead.
2016.
What?
You sure about that?
I don't want the same score. I want the same score.
Okay, so I just think Cameron Dicker is going to win the game for us. Justin Herbert's going to be great. He just doesn't have the weapons, like we've said on this show, but he's going to be good enough to win. I think we're going to see something interesting in this game that we didn't expect. My call right now for defensive player of the game for the Chargers, because we do that as well, is going to be Dan Henley. I think it's going to be awesome. We've been waiting for this. He's going to be the offense or defensive player of the game. The offensive player of the game is going to be Ladd McConkey. He's going to lead us in receptions.
Oh, look at that.
What do you think, Dave?
All right, here we go. I'm going Chargers win 2016, and I say defensive player of the game is going to be Joey Bosa. How about that? Might be the only time you hear it. Now, at the same time, it might sound ridiculous because the guy who's going to be blocking Joey Bosa practices against Max Crosby every damn day. But I'm going Bosa, and at the same time, I'm going my offensive player of the game is going to be Gus Edwards.
Nice.
Gosh darn it.
That you going with too?
Not anymore. I got I got Mac. 6 games. I was trying to rewatch some of these games last year, and then after watching like first quarter of both, I realized that half this roster is not around. But the key thing that 6 sacks in the first game against the Raiders, I think he's gonna pull up that type of performance again. Maybe not 6 sacks, but I think he gets a couple. Offensively, 2 years ago, we were saying before the season, this guy's going to have a big season, be the step-up guy. Now he has no choice but to be Joshua freaking Palmer. He's
Nice.
gonna have a touchdown. He's gonna have 70+ yards receiving. Mark that freaking down. I'm talking to you, 1400, and that's just because you're the first name I saw to this side.
What's your score? Your final score?
It's gonna be 20-10.
We all picked 20. Okay, 2010. All right, like it. There we go. It's
All
going to be
right.
exciting. All right. Don't forget, by the way, we'll be on when that game ends. When that game ends, please
Yes.
join us right here. I want to hear your comments. This is honestly the reason why we decided to start doing live shows for exactly the situation like this. So it's going to be great. We'll be here, of course, after every single Charger game. Otherwise, the shows will go Tuesday, 1 o'clock, Thursday, 1 o'clock. Those are all Pacific time. And then we're set. We're all good, right? We're all good.
All good.
Exciting, man. Football's back, guys. We're all pumped up. I know the people who are live on the chat feel the same way, but the NFL's back, and this is what we wait the entire year for. So it should be a good time. We will talk to every one of you guys. I hope you join us again after the game. Let's go Chargers. We'll talk about this and how it looks for Jim Harbaugh and basically being hopefully a new day. For Mario Heron, Josh Pele, I'm Dave Pele. We'll see you on Sunday.